I hear you say, not another crappy solar sensor wall light video. Sorry about this, but I am being rather thorough about this. This is a different type of solar wall light. This is marked solar sensor wall light, as you can see. I've called this type 2. It's actually, it was the original one that I bought. I only bought one of them. But being as I've traced the circuit of the other one first, I'll call this type 2. And this one has 20 LEDs, slightly bigger LEDs. And it has no nightlight function. And it has the proper battery holder, which I can't show you at the moment. Hang on, just got... No, forget that, I can't find it. Right, so that's what the machine looks like. Okay, now this is the circuit. This board is marked S6385. It's actually printed on the board. And as before, there's no overcharge protection for the lithium cell. And there are helpful markings etched into the PCB like S+, S-, B+, B-. That's useful. It tells you where, if the wires drop off, which they do tend to do, you know where to reconnect them. It's difficult to know how this one fits into the evolution of these things, or whether there's an evolution at all. It might just be that it's just a different manufacturer has made it to the similar sort of circuit. Anyway, starting on the left, you've got a voltage divider across the solar cell, and this has got 5 times the values of the previous one. That was 20k, and that was 10k. Well, now it's 100k and 51k. It's exactly the same division ratio. It just takes slightly less current. Although why they're bothered about current on that side, I don't know, because there's plenty of current comes from the solar panel. Get this right. There's on this one, on the PIR sensor, there's 51k instead of the 47k before. That capacitor measures around about 0.1. Now I think it was about a 10 mic on the previous one. I can't remember. It was quite big on the previous one. No, it was a 47 microfarad. But this one, and I drew it with an electrolytic capacitor symbol before I measured it. And when I measured it, it measured 0.1. So either it's faulty or it really is a 0.1. I think I'm in my light a little bit here. Note on this one, pin 6 is left open circuit. I'll see if I can get the previous circuit back. See, on the previous circuit, pin 6 was held at around 0.8 of a volt by a 1 meg and a 390k. Well, that is completely open circuit on this one. And pin 4 is no connection, as it was on the previous one. This looks like it might be an SW03 board, a SW03 chip. It's got the same pin out, but there's no marking on it. There are pads up here for the push button. As you see on the previous one, there was a push button which selected the mode. There's no push button on this one. The pad's there, but there's nothing. And on the previous one, you had a 1k and a pull down, but they've omitted the pull down on this one. You've only got the series resistor. I'm sorry about the symbol for the FET. I'm pretty sure it's a FET. I haven't tried it, measured it or anything, but they're usually FETs. I don't know what the symbol is for the FET. I don't know if it's an EGFET, a MOSFET or whatever. I was brought up on valves, condensers and megacycles, and I must admit, somewhere in the middle of the 80s and 90s and 2000s, I lost track of electronics and symbols and all that sort of stuff. So I've just drawn what I know. The last time I used one of those, it was an MPF 102 and it could only take a few milliamps. Things have moved on now. These things can switch amps. It's amazing. But anyway, I don't know what sort of FET it is. It's marked Y1. Oh, by the way, this is marked S4, the Schottky diode. Right, instead of a push button there, instead they fitted an on-off switch, a proper on-off switch. And over here, there's only 1 ohm in series with the LED panel instead of 1.8. And on the regulator, there's pads for a decoupling capacitor, but they didn't fit it. This is going to become a bit of a theme, I think, where components are lift off. Well, that's about it, really. I just wondered if this CDS pin, it's marked CDS on the data sheet, which is all in Chinese except for that. And I don't know whether that means cadmium sulfide or charge-discharge sensor. But on some units, there is actually a cadmium sulfide cell as a light detector. So it probably does mean cadmium sulfide. So here's the innards. I don't know if it's in focus or not because my glasses aren't in focus, but the chip there, where I can't see, where is it? There it is. The chip is unmarked. You've got the, I think it's the battery connectors there. Battery and solar panel connectors, and that goes to the LED panel. That's the switching FET. That's the regulator with pads for the input capacitor, which aren't there, and the double pole double throw switch with two sections wired in parallel, and the board is marked whatever it's marked. Yeah, I can't read it. Solar panel looks a bit manky and it's got 2 holes in the middle, but it's still generating 6 volts, albeit at only about 7 or 8 milliamps instead of 35 to 45 milliamps. So anyway, I had insulated this with mastic, which has done a really good job. It was really, really difficult to get off, and I had to get a credit card under that to break the seal to get the panel out, because I'm going to replace this panel. But there you are. Pop. And it was fixed in just 2 blobs of glue there. Just 2 blobs of glue were holding the panel in. The panel's interesting because unlike the others, there's the usual type, which is like, it's got a printed circuit on the back. But this type is totally encased. It's a bit more substantial. You know, it's unbendable, and it's just plastic on the back, but very, very delicate terminals. And in the process of getting this out, I broke the positive terminal off. No, sorry, the negative terminal. So that's a shame, because I was going to, although it had a low output, I was going to use this cell for, say, a garden light or something like that. You know, one of the ones with the single LED in it. But unless I can get at that electrode, this one's now scrap. But that's more substantial. The battery holder was more substantial. It's got a proper switch in it. In many ways, this seems a superior light to the others. It seems it's better made. Anyway, if you like this, sorry about the length, but if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, please. Bye.